and welcome back to Chats with Chelsea. Y'all, I missed you all, but I'm so grateful for some time away, time to spend with Jesus, time to regroup, and most importantly, some time to reflect. So as we finish off season 3, these first 2 episodes are going to be about 6 lessons I've learned so far in 2020. Yes, I know it's not over, but we all know 2020 has been a year to remember, a year just to thank God that you are alive and it is September. So let's start off with a lesson that was, well, they all were challenging, but this one was really challenging. And so the first lesson is pivot. Right now, we are filming from John and I's brand new home that we built earlier this year and moved in a few months ago. But you may recall that we had built a set for Chats with Chelsea and Chats with Chelsea Teens. And so the first lesson for me has been to pivot. We have to learn how to pivot. We can come up with these great plans, these great strategies, and you know what? Life is going to happen. And so here we are in our living room. We're set up, we're filming, we're live. Yet, if you would have asked me in January what I was looking forward to, it was being able to bring guests in to sit at that beautiful set with the different color lights, the background, all of that we did, all of that we invested in. But guess what? Life happened, and so we had to pivot. Another thing that we had to pivot with, which took a little bit more time for me to kind of digest, was we were planning, well, let me rephrase. I was planning this amazing housewarming party. It's our first home together. Why would we not have a housewarming party? But I can tell you why we did not have one, and that is because of COVID-19. So we thank you, everyone who sent us housewarming gifts, but it's just been one of those lessons where I've had to continuously remind myself that you can have a plan, you can have plan A, B, C, or D, but sometimes when you have to pivot, it's going to be pivoting into something that you had not planned for. The second lesson I've learned since the beginning of this year has been the power in saying no. So many times we are presented with really good opportunities, but not every good opportunity is a godly opportunity. And I've had to begin to really self-evaluate and self-reflect on what is it that I believe God's called me to, and in that, line up different opportunities. Does this opportunity match with where I believe God is calling me to? And so I've had to turn down some opportunities. Me saying no has also meant backing away from some things. Yes, I know you're thinking, why would I back away from something? I made this commitment. And you know what? Sometimes we make commitments and we have to take a pause. We have to take a look, and we have to make the hard decision of, do I continue in whatever this role may be? It may be a special project at work. It may be sitting on a community board, but do I stay here knowing that I can't give it my all? And so sometimes your no is going to be no right up front. And other times, like what I've had to do, is step back from some things and say, no, this is not what God has for me this season. The third lesson, which I continue to work on, has been to prioritize, right? There are so many different things for going on for us. For many of you, you are a full-time mom, you are your teacher for your kids, you have all these different obligations that's going on, and many of them haven't slowed down because of COVID or because we're at home. And so what I have been working on is learning the value of priority management. So many times we hear about time management, yet what I'm learning is that when I know what my priorities are for the season that God has me in, then I make sure, and I typically do up to 3 priorities that I'm focused on in a particular season, then those are the things that I am focused on. Those are the things that are going to get my time. And so if it's not a part of that top 3 list, those top 3 priorities, it's not that it doesn't get done, but I may not spend 5 hours a week reading a book that's not in line with what I am focused on during that season. Listen, ladies, those are the top 3 lessons so far, but I'll be back next week with 3 more lessons I've learned here in 2020. Be sure you're subscribed, share it with a friend, and in the comments, let me know, what lesson have you learned? What are your top lessons from 2020? What is it that you would want to share with others to encourage others? Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you next week.